Welcome to the fairy blessings of the week. So what's in store for us this week with the fairies? So we'll do a little bit of fairy tarot for the first bit, and then we'll do quite a few oracles. 6 oracle fairies have come to play to give us blessings and empowerment along our way. So it's always good to have a look at what is coming up. This week we do have the pink supermoon on the Tuesday, and also Mercury is going retrograde again. So these two huge events for the week, you may as well get some advice from the fairies, see what they can tell us. So first of all, for the week beginning today, when you watch this, some things take a long time for our individual paths, but nevertheless. So the first few messages, what we're going to have today, is from the tarot. So let's have a look at the energies for this week. Okay, so energies for this week with the tarot. So the first instance is we have the 8 of autumn. So 8 of autumn is paying attention to our work and how we go about that. So what is our life purpose, and what can we concentrate just at the moment in actually coming together to make that plan a reality? So while the super full moon is coming on Tuesday, now it's the time to look, what are we not paying attention to? So dropping old habits and really knuckling down to our work and our purpose in work. You've also got 6 of summer, a great time to refresh. Think of the time when you had so much fun as a child. Really put that step and enthusiasm back into work, but also at a time where you were very happy within yourself with the prospect of a new job, a new career. Instead of going, oh, I need this, and having that downward energy, especially around Tuesday, then really embrace the fun factor. Put the fun back into your life and how you move forward with that. That's another message from the fairies. And also you have temperance. So things are changing up for a lot of people. So do your communication this week before Mercury goes retrograde, and really see to yourself, I want a healthier life. So this is about health as well, health and finances. So really get those two things in order of how you value yourself and work hard at the finer detail. So some of you might be not thinking right, feeling right, or physically just So really get that spring into step now. Really change things up. It's really going to benefit you this coming week. And we've also got the 9 of winter. So don't believe things are a lot worse than they actually are. It is time to refresh, as I said before. So thinking that things aren't going to happen in a very positive way is really negative. And it just brings more of that. So we need to refresh. It's great to hibernate over winter, and it's good to reflect on certain things, but not when it's negative. So it is like a mind trap, that kind of aspect. And when we have that mind trap, it keeps us there and it keeps us small. So we want to refresh now and really pay attention to our value and our soul purpose. Okay, so that was a few of the energies that are surrounding us next week. So if we pay attention to them and a little bit, it'll really help big time. So putting the fun back into our lives, really realising with enthusiasm that we can pay attention to our work. So our fairy messages from the important fairies are thus. Okay, let's have a look. So this can help our soul to grow and our minds to realise, to connect with certain energies. Okay, so your first fairy message is crystal magic. Wow. Creation, dawn and the beginning, crystal magic. And it's violet. So any crystal that you've got that is purple is absolutely fine, especially using amethyst. Most people have amethyst, so that's really good for being calm. So if you're feeling a little bit anxious, do have some purple crystals. I was looking for my Blue John. It's gone. Blue John has gone. That's another great purple crystal. But yeah, crystal magic. We all know how to use crystals. There are some great videos and great books out there. So you could have something like this. You could actually buy an amethyst burner. Perhaps that's really nice. Meditate on the flame. But it is very calming. It's violet. So that's really important. So always cleanse your crystals, charge them, and then set their intention, especially if you want to pay attention to your work aspect. Really paying attention to the small details. So you could get yourself a pointed crystal, perhaps, whether it's a fluorite or whatever, smoky quartz, to take away your negativity, perhaps. Cleanse it, charge it, and have it pointed into your money corner or whatever. And that is magic indeed. So the crystal fairy wants you to be successful and use your crystals wisely. Whatever you want to charge them in the full moon on Tuesday is a great idea to actually do that. So using the moon magic along with your crystals is a really refreshing idea. So I'm really pleased that that's come up for you. So those of you who know how to do that, recharging them in the moonlight is a very good idea. We like that indeed. I'll put that up there so you guys can see it. So what else are the fairies telling us this week? Let's have a look. Have you ever made a crystal grid? That's really interesting. It takes a long time to do that, but nevertheless, even spreading 4 crystals and putting your intention in the middle. Crystals have so many ways of working with. Most people just carry one around, a small one, or wear them in jewellery. That's always a good idea. That's smoky quartz. You can wear them. Jade. You know, it's very essential, isn't it? Right, let's see what else are the energies of the week for the fairies. So, you have a blessing of power. Oh, that's excellent, isn't it? So the fairies always want to tell you as well that power, our power within. So when we see self-empowerment, it's being in charge of ourselves, being responsible for ourselves is very, very important. So the power will always come from within. We can channel power, we can accept the divine and then bring power down. But unless we are a receptacle of that, we can't have the power. So it's not being assertive or domineering. Sometimes being powerful is saying nothing, or perhaps stepping back from a situation and not getting involved. So power comes from a lot of things, and the fairies want to bless you with that power. So embrace your own self-empowerment today. Well, this week. After the full moon. So you can release all those aspects that are disempowering you and then put the power back. Power up, level up. Right, so we have other fairy messages. So let's have a look what's going on further for us. So you can see now, especially with job, if you want your perfect job situation, you want your job to be a little bit better, cleanse the crystal, set the intention of that crystal and use that power. It's exciting, isn't it? So you won't be affected by the Mercury retrograde with the lack of communication as well. So you can also power up your crystal for perfect communication. You telling, them telling. Right, let's have a look. So your other message today is the balancing act. So sometimes when we're trying to balance a lot of areas in our life, it is difficult. So it's very important to get your mind and your heart in synchronization and the same page, the same desires, the same wishes. So instead of thinking about the Nine of Swords, Nine of Winter, it's all about looking at that balance. So having mental clarity is very, very important. So yeah, it's focusing on the goodness. So focus on the practicalities of your job, and how you're going to step into that is going to balance everything up. Sometimes we do listen to our mind too much, dragging us down, or what other people are saying, dragging us down. So balancing that out with, it is possible to have a great life. It is possible to get my perfect job. Don't listen to the negativity of others, because after all, you are going to empower yourself with that power. So give yourself time sometimes to relax. Some of you might be busy, too busy. So it's all about taking time out. Smelling the flowers, walking in nature is always a great time. So balance play and activity. So for some of you who are really trying to get that perfect job, sometimes it's best to do little things in stages. I'll look at the CV, I'll do that application in stages. So it's putting things in slots throughout the day will really help the week to come. And then hopefully try and get it done before Mercury retrograde. If you are doing CVs and applications, that's always a good thing to do. Right, so our next little fairy is, let's have a look, and that goes for relationships as well. Don't struggle all the time with the mindset and the heart when relationships are going all over the place. Put things into order. Does that make sense? Right, let's have a look at the, oh, we got that one there. They like to jump from different clans, these fairies. Right. Right, let's see further. So you have another fairy blessing, the same as last week. Wow, you have the merciful one, compassion, release and relief. So some of you may not have seen last week's blessings. Do check that out. It's still probably applicable, but it's release. So this merciful one is all about the full moon, the pink full moon. Couldn't have been more an apt card. So with the pink full supermoon, wow, we can release all our fears. We can relax in unconditional love and really put the power back in ourselves about loving ourselves. Really pay attention to that, because that's where the value comes. Value of ourselves and value and respect to the universe who's trying to work with us. So don't struggle anymore, guys. Release what you need to release. Have a tidy up, a declutter of the mind and the spirit. Think what you're holding on to from your past, and then let it go safely and securely to the universe, and they'll dissolve all the negativity for you that's keeping you small. So this is another great card. Thank you for coming again and showing us that pink is a good colour for eternal love. Oh. So if you want that perfect relationship, have that perfect relationship with yourself, and that's power. That is power which will set that energy up and the door to your fantastic love. So that's really good. So it's beautiful cards. Well done for showing up again. That's great, isn't it? And you have another fairy. So yeah, so she came up last week, the merciful one. So she obviously wants to really tell you, some of you aren't being merciful to yourself. It's like, just learn to accept things, live day by day, not struggling too much in the past or the future. Give yourself a break. No struggle. Does that make sense? Let's have a look at the other card for you this week. So you have a new moon fae. Whoa. Soul scrying. So we have the new moon as well as the full moon. That's confusing, but predictable, I suppose. So with the new moon fae, it wants to refresh. That's what I said with the merciful one. All that aspects of love will bring a newness to your life. So if you are trying to find that perfect job opportunity, perfect relationship, any perfect circumstance, this is the time to do it. So when we release things within the full moon, it does create a space. So the universe likes spaces to be filled. So embrace the newness of the powerful you and see the difference between before and the rest of the week. All right? So I think that's a really good message indeed. The new moon fairy. Looking into your soul and seeing that soul purpose with a more refreshed mind. Now then, let's have a look at your last fairy of the week. Oh, it's a good week for you guys. And me, because I take it on board as well. It's for all of us, isn't it? So let's have a look at the last fairy to give you a nice blessing. Oh. So if you do take on the advice of the fairies, paying attention to the crystals, crystal magic, crystal power, empowering yourself, and what was that one behind us? Yeah, crystal magic. So we have look in a book. Look in a book. Sometimes when we're trying to find our answers, it's funny. If you set your intention to your spirit guides, your angels, your fairy godmother, then look at your bookshelf or your books. Intuitively go to one book and say, I want to know, should I apply for this job? Should I go with this relationship? Any question. And scroll down all your books. Pick one. And then just move your head away so you're not cheating. And just flip the pages and then pick a page and then go right. And then go brrr, and pick a word. And allegedly, that is your inspiration to make your own sentence or read a sentence. So it's very inspiring when that happens because it's giving you your own personal answer. And that's what this fairy is generally saying to do. Look in a book for your answers. Or you might be guided to purchase or look at a free book for some other knowledge. You might be starting a new career or a new hobby or anything that's inspirational. So the information that we do find in books is valuable indeed, and that's a great way to power ourselves up with reading. We always need to keep going with our knowledge simply because it goes outdated sometimes. Like aromatherapy, like crystals, reading about crystals. I mean, I've got loads of books on crystals, but I can't remember all the information, so I would have to look in a book. So find something that really connects with you, but it is a very good novel way of finding an answer with that indeed. So there you have it, some lovely energies. So just look out for Mercury retrograde about communication. Set your crystal now, cleanse it, charge it in the full moon on the window ledge or outside in your garden if you're lucky enough to have a garden. And do check out the fairies. You can ask the fairies in your garden to bless the crystal. Then use the crystal for clear communication or set the intention to vibrate with your perfect situation. So hopefully that makes sense. So just a rundown of the fairies that we have. That one, the merciful one, balancing our life, and a blessing of power. And of course, the crystal fairy. Okay, and look in a book. And look in a book. So there were your main fairies. And the tarot, just to go through, was having fun, working hard, and healing, and not paying attention to those negative thoughts. It's time to spring into action and put our power back into our step in a fun, loving way. Thank you for listening to the blessings of the week from our lovely fairies. Do take care and lots of love to you.